Good morning, friends. Oh, my raspy throat. Um, Cheryl here with Ink Pulp. It's an exciting day today. Oh, Kelly's here. Big Mama's here. Yay. And you can see I'm set up at my bench. Um we're going to do some metal stuff today. So, um our drawing, I won't do it very first thing because sometimes it takes people a little while to get in. So I'll give it a little bit. Here are the numbers. I also wanted to show you, and Big Mama, I'm especially interested to know your thoughts on this. So I made this bag yesterday and I love it. I think all by itself it's a little bit plain. I think it needs something else. And so I had put this butterfly on here, but I don't know if it's too big. I had some smaller butterflies, and for the life of me, I can't find them. What do you think of it with the butterfly here? Let me bring this up a little bit so you can see the whole thing. What do you think of that with the butterfly on it? Hey, Donna. So I'm looking for everybody's input. You do? And I think that completes it. I don't think I need any more over here because I have these flowers going over here. Okay, I'm going to put that. My husband liked it too. Do you like that bag? Isn't that pretty? And then look at the back. Yeah, a little smaller would be nicer, but I don't have it, so it is what it is. I bet it sells really quick. I love this. I've got several panels of these flowers, and I think I'll make bags with them, different patterns. Yeah, I'm not sure about that, Donna, because you got these flowers coming over here. I don't know. I'll work. I mainly wanted to know what you guys thought of if the butterfly went. I don't want it too matchy matchy and too balanced. Oh, I don't put stuff on the back ever. The only thing I put on the back is the lace from the top. That just happened to be this whole pattern had, because you can see the yellow starting up here, and then when I folded it over, it had the yellow. So I don't ever decorate the back. And the reason I don't is because I think people hold it. I don't know. I just don't decorate the backs of them other than with fabric. And then I do run the top lace all the way around. No, ma'am. I buy the bags already made. I buy them from Amazon. There's no sewing at all in this piece. None at all. All right. So that's what I worked on yesterday. Yeah, I do. It's all done with Fabri-Tac. So we only have 5 here. So let me show you something else. I don't want to get started on the journal until we get a few more people in. Happy September, y'all. I will be drawing a winner for the giveaway, which is the ephemera holder. I didn't bring it over here to this station with me. If I don't think there's anybody in here who hasn't put a number in, but let me show you some of the other things I worked on yesterday. So this is a nightlight. This is what a nightlight looks like when it's and do you see on the back I have all these little tiny holes. That's so I can feed my saw blade in there. And so I drill those with a tiny, tiny drill bit. Well, that's probably because she hasn't been here. I also have these, and these are kind of a funky color. I'm going to put them in the pickle. These are ring bands, and they need a little more hydraulic press work. But do you see the detail in there? I'll pickle them and they'll get bright and you'll be able to see it better. So these are really thin copper. So I get my first injection for my, is that Osteo Med this month? Oh, good for you, Donna. I'm going to cut out this. I'm going to make a silver ring band and I'm going to put this around the outside. Yep. And then I did these. Big Mama, you'll appreciate this. Look at these crosses that I pressed out. So what I will do, and I'll do one today, I'll saw around the edges. Well, I won't saw all the way up to the edge. Well, yeah, I guess maybe I will. And then you see it's pressed in on the back like debossed because this is where I press the hey Diana. I pressed it in and then I'll solder a back plate on so it's not depressed in like this. I'll solder a back plate and then finish it up. I've got 4 of these. Hey, Susan. All right, we've got, and Mimi's here, we've got, I think, everybody who's on the list who helped put this puppy together. Let's do a final flip through. Girls, I was showing this morning, this is what I did yesterday. I made this bag, and I'm going to put that butterfly on it. So this is one of my canvas bags. I know. I'm excited to see who's going to win. Can I move it out? Yeah. I had it in because of the sewing that I'm going to be doing. All right, here's the closure. It's all on. So what I did is I drilled a hole in that blue piece, and then I've got the little pieces of paper underneath to, lift this up. And then I punched it through, and then I put another piece. This is that antique lace. So you really can't see where the brad comes through. And I glued it all down as I was putting it down. So that's the closure. You can put it around twice. I just go once. And I left this long. If you want to cut it off, you can. Whoever gets it. I just thought he's scheduled for a CTEK. Oh, wow. All right, let's do another real quick flip through for anybody who hasn't. Is there anybody, speak up, is there anybody who hasn't seen this? Because if everybody's seen it, I won't worry about a flip through. Yes, keep us all posted, Big Mama. Anybody need a flip through? Bits and pieces? Okay. Hey, Misty. So here's the cover. Here's the inside. I did the pattern paper, and this is I got this idea from Big Mama, the tracing paper over the top. I've got a Tim Holtz die cut to match the one on this side. Let's see if I can get it all in here. I may need to go even higher. need to pull this up. Let's. There we go. That's better. Pocket on this side. We made this photo holder together in that beautiful pocket. We made this envelope together a long time ago. And it just has a little double card inside. And then the side band is made from that stuff that my benefactor gave me. This was all her stuff. I put a little tab over on the side page made out of the same fabric and some lace and trim. Whoops, that noise is not good. That's my lighter. Remember this? We made this. And then we've got a tag in here. And then we've got this flap and it says, "This is our journey." I put really grungy paper and I tattered it all up and glued it down for writing space here, put an owl on it. Oh, I have started putting, this lace was already there. This lace in the front, I grungied up and added it. And then I put on this tattered lace. This was one of the dangles that we made together in one of our videos. And then I just took a couple little pieces of stamped paper, colored this one, the flowers to match over here. This is our corset tag, and it's just tucked in with these lace pieces. I ordered 10 more yards of this lace from Carla because I love it so much. I put this lace trim down the edge. And then this one has the flip out, again with the tracing paper. I put down a piece of pattern paper over here, and again with the tracing paper to they're not just, the staples came completely out, so they're not just reinforced. That's how it's holding it together, is that washi tape. That's my lighter. We saw it here first. This, you'll see it later. It's a torch lighter, and it puts off a little spark under there, and it lights the torch. I satin carded lace. Oh. Ooh. All right, on this side, I put one of my over-the-corner bookmarks, and I used a little boy because we had the little girl over here. The fabric tab on this is the same fabric that's, on the cover. So you can use that as a tuck spot and tuck something up in there. And then usually I don't decorate the second side, but on this one I decorated it, and I Sparky. I used that real hot heat gun, and I kind of burnt the cheesecloth a little, so it's got real dark spaces. Put a burlap ribbon down the side, and then at the bottom I put just a little cluster. It's got the lace trim over here. I had a little piece left. It's got the fabric that's over here, so it matches, and then just a little green button. So it's just a little and then this we made together. We kept the page in the Sam's book. Remember, it had the family on it. And I think it was Big Mama who said, "Oh, I love that picture. I love family." So it's all scuffed up, but we left the picture of the family. That is actually the notebook. But yeah, this was a Sam's Club flyer. That's why we call it the Junk Mail Journal. This is a glassine envelope. It's got this tag in it. I think, Donna, didn't you pick that tag? And then it's got some fabric, a key, it's just got a bunch of stuff. And I think we decorated this as a group. It goes in that pocket. And then you've got another little pocket down here that has a little flower card in it. Hey, Mike. Yeah, I'm just giving one final flip through. And then we'll do the drawing. And then this side has some of my favorite lace on it. Look at that. Isn't that pretty? And then just a couple more little bits of ephemera there. This side has the fabric flip that flips up. There's the owl and then the little notepad. Some little messy string under memories because we built memories making this. And then I put the two pieces of brass, the little corners down here so it stays down. A little bit of blingy ribbon up here at the top. And we are an unforgettable group. And then I did add to the back a pocket. This pocket we made very recently. We made this very recently. And so I put it on here, and it's actually two pockets. This we made together with the specimen card technique. So I put that in there. And then this is the dragonfly with the little embellishments, goes in that front pocket. And then, like I said, I did put the closure on it. I left it long. This closure does turn a little bit, so you may have to just straighten it out, but I did leave it long. You can cut it short, whoever wins. But that's the journal we're giving away. Now, there have been a few people come in who have not been here throughout the making of this journal, and I'm glad you're here. I'm absolutely glad you're here. So here are the names. If anybody helped make this journal who's not on the list, please let me know. I am going to, on this drawing, I don't normally limit names, but this was such a labor of love. Yeah, Nikki, Mike is. Well, Misty, on this giveaway, you probably won't be able to because we made this as a group. And I really think it's only fair to let somebody who was in the, process of making this win it. Thank you, Nikki. I'm so glad you're here, Nikki. I'm glad you're here, Misty. So on this one, I do other things. Now, I'll talk about the drawing that's going to happen a little bit later today. So you don't have to come every day, but when we do a project together like this, if we're working on a project and you show up and help and give input or just comment, you don't even have to give input necessarily, just be here and part of the creator group, then each person is warmly acknowledged. I love it. So I hope you understand. Oh, I know you have it. I know, Nikki. Well, just hang tight because I think Donna's sending me another one of those Sam's journals, so we may be making another one. But I'm very big on giveaways. But if you can make the morning sessions, I do this every morning except Thursday, because Thursday Penny Pudge goes live and I don't want to compete with her. So these are the numbers. You don't have to be here to win, but let's do it. Can we get a drum roll? Yeah, Nikki, this is a very yeah, exactly like the Costco one, only it's from Sam's Club. Same thing. I just took one that I got in the mail and we decorated it all together. But Nikki, this is a very interactive group. When I say like we made this together, we made that for the ephemera, literally we made it on the channel. Okay, Vanessa gave us the drum roll, so here we go. Hey Siri, pick a number between 1 and 50.
The answer is 36.
All right. Oh my gosh, Donna, you are right on the money. 36. $36. Congratulations, Donna. You won it. You sure put a lot of contribution to this journal. So, well, everybody did. What's the favor? What's the favor, Donna? Yep. You really did put your heart into it, Donna. Oh, are you sure? Are you sure? I mean, she already got the bag. I don't know that she'll know what to do with the journal. Are you positive? I mean, I could send her a little note to. So, for those of you who don't know, my benefactor is a lady I met at one of my shows, and she was looking at some of my fabric. I do the metal stuff too, but she was looking at some of my my journals and everything, and she said, "You're so creative with all of this stuff." She said, "I have I have laces and I have boxes of this stuff that I have saved throughout my marriage." She said, "And my husband recently passed away, and I have to downsize in case I have to move. Can I send you some of the stuff that I have? Because I'm sure you'll do something wonderful with it." Well, obviously, I said I would be honored, but I'll pay for it. And she said, "Nope, I don't want any money. I just want it to go somewhere. I don't want it to go to the Goodwill. I want it to go to somebody um, who will use it and make creative things with it." So sure enough, I had 2 huge boxes show up from Florida, and there was beautiful stuff in it. And on this live, we created one of my decorated bags. To send to her, and this is all stuff that came out of her boxes. And so that is on its way to her to say thank you. And then there's a tag inside that we created that has our thank you on it. And I don't know if I have a picture of the tag. This is the lady we put on the tag. Now I had to replace her because I got a scratch on her face, but I don't have a picture of that tag. Huh. Usually I take a picture of everything. Um, so that's the deal with the benefactor. And Donna wants to send her. So let me go back and catch up. So are you sure, Donna? One last chance. All right. I will send it to her. And Donna, if you want to email me a note, because I'll tell her that you won, but you wanted this to go to her. And if you want to send a little note to me to include in it, I would be happy to do that. All right. So that's that. And for those of you who have never seen my decorated bags, this is the one that I'm currently working on. It's a little zipper pouch. Oh, yes, I absolutely will, Mimi, because I don't know that she'll know. So I absolutely will. So anyway, this is the bag that I'm working on now. And I have a bunch of these panels with the black background, and it's all kind of trimmed in gold. It's not thread, but it's got gold, around all the flowers. I've got more of these panels, and then the back is all yellow. So this is what I'm working on right now. Getting ready for a big show next week. All right, that's all that stuff out of the way. Now let's do some sawing. You guys, this is my torch here on the side of my bench. I'm going to put it out for here out of the way. And I'm going to bring y'all back down a little bit closer. This is called a bench pin. It's held on sometimes there's a hole in your desk like this, and it fits in there and then it clamps down. This one's just on the top of my desk with a clamp, but it's got this V in it so that I can saw up into there and get to different things. But you all had asked me to show you how I do my night lights, so we'll do this little cat. I want to get it fairly close because going to sleep not feeling well. Oh, feel better. And for those of you who don't know about my night lights, let me show you a finished one. In fact, I'll show you a finished one of the cat. I do them in either brown, I antique the copper, or I do them in like a green patina. And here is one that is finished. I turn them this way for packing, but it goes like this. And it's a night light. So that's what this will turn into. So, before I start that, let me mention one other thing. Well, it's already September 1st, so it's too late to comment. For those of you who are new here and don't know about it, or maybe have forgotten about it, I do a monthly happy mail, and I take all the comments that have been left on my videos in the month of August, and the comments were done in August, and that all goes into a drawing. First, I do a random comment picker for each video, and then all of those names go into a bigger drawing, and I draw one, and that person wins Happy Mail. So today, the Happy Mail is going to be that ephemera holder that we made. And so if you watch the video a little later today, I'll do the drawing live. You'll see the ephemera holder. But that happens today as well. And then remember, today starts a new month. So be sure that you are commenting on the videos so you get in the drawing for next month. I was thinking maybe next month we'll do a lace bundle. That was my thought. So for Misty and Nikki, who haven't been here a lot, I do every once in a while, we'll make something in the morning and I'll just give it away and send it out. I like to do giveaways. All right. So ladies, this is my saw. Okay. You see how tiny that little blade is in there. When I take the pattern, and then I have to drill tiny little holes in there because I have to put the saw blade through the hole. And when I load the saw blade, you may not be able to see this, I brace it up against the desk or the bench pin or something. I put the We'll do it this way so you can see it. I put the piece through the hole. Now the handle of the saw is braced up against my chest. Oh, no, I don't think it froze. I think it's just I haven't done anything. Um, so I brace the handle up against my chest and I push it in, and then I'll find a better shot so you can see it. I push in on the handle, tighten down this thumb screw, and then when I let loose, it's really, listen to this. Okay, so you hear that noise? It's supposed to ping like that. And then I take some beeswax and I run on the back side. The teeth are on this front side. I run it on the back side because I don't want to clog the teeth, and that helps the blade slide through the metal and not get caught. You see how tiny that little piece is that we're sawing out there? That first piece? So, and if you'll notice, I am just going up and down with my saw. I'm turning the metal. I'm going to have to go get my optimizer so I can see better. I'm turning the metal until that piece comes out. And then I let the saw blade loose. That little tiny piece is cut out. Oops. I have to do it up here. I know you guys can't see this part very well, but I'm just putting the blade in. I'm sure Mike has done this a time or two. Okay. Now, if I twist the saw blade like this while I'm sawing, it will snap in two. If I push forward on the saw blade to push it through the metal, it'll snap in two. And eventually, it will just sort of wear out from all the friction, and it'll eventually snap, and then I put a new one in. We buy our saw blades a gross at a time, so that's 12 packs of 12 blades, 144 blades at a time, because they do snap. They are really tiny. But I've over the years, yes, you have. I bet you have. Over the years, I've gotten a pretty good feel for the saw. So can you see those two holes now? You can kind of see through them. Let me get my optivisors because I see better when I have those on. What did I do with them? No. Oh, no. Oh, I may have. Oh, there they are. And ladies, and gents, I cut these things out. Well, I have 65 of them that I'm working on right now. I've cut hundreds and hundreds of these night lights out. Now I'm going to go into this bigger one. So I do all the little ones, and then I do the cat. I always put some lubricant on the back of the blade so it doesn't get stuck in there. So I'm going to go to the corner of this little piece here, this little shape, and then you see I'm turning the metal. I always turn the metal. It's kind of like fussy cutting. You know how they tell you to turn the paper, not the scissors? It's the same idea. But the reason you do it here is so that the blade doesn't snap. And I will be having a nightlight sale, or metals in general sale, later in October after I finish my last show. I can't do it before then because I've just got too much to do. Now, if I vary a little bit off of the pattern, it's not that big a deal. I usually can cut it pretty close, but if I vary a little bit, it's not the end of the world because nobody's going to see the pattern to know. But you see that piece right there that I just cut out is the wing. So I've got 2 more here, and then we'll do the cat. Was going to type what? Oh, it is Zen. Oh, I'm sorry. My optivisors keep hitting the camera. I'm so sorry. I'm old. I need magnification to see those small little pieces. I can sit and cut all day long. And then I thought what I would do is show you the next step after this, which involves the torch. I thought I'd kind of go through the steps of how I make them so you can see how complex they are. This one will be a green one because the brown ones actually have pattern rolled into it, and I can't move my camera over to the rolling mill, so we'll just do this one. These ones with a lot of little pieces, oh, I put it right back in the same spot. The ones with a lot of little pieces take more time, obviously, because I have to keep moving the saw blade. It's like fussy cutting. It is. I know, because you cut into it. You can see how this side is not straight anymore because I tend to cut this way, and you cut into the saw blade sometimes, you don't, or the bench pin. You see there's a lot of cuts up here. Yeah, some jewelers have bench pins that are worn all the way down. I know. This one's about, I don't know, 13, 14 years old. But yeah, some of the bench pins are crazy. And as long as that's why people get frustrated with sewing. A lot of jewelers don't like, I'm going to need to move that or move myself because I got to get closer to see it. You have to have just the right touch. And some people break so many blades and they get frustrated having to change the blades all the time. And so they don't like to do it. But once you get the hang of it, now see how close those 2 pieces, those 2 holes are? There's just a little bitty bit of copper in between there. All right, we go in under the tail. Let me put my blade in. Always test it to be sure it's tight enough. Sometimes the blades stretch and they get real loose and you can't get them tight. It's frustrating. All right, let's get this cat out. So I will sometimes sit and do this all day long, just one after another. And I have several different shapes. So again, I'm turning the metal, not the blade. Always go up and down in the same spot. So now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go up and down, up and down. I'm not really cutting, but I have to turn this metal just about all the way around. So I just go up and down in the same spot until I get it turned. And I'm not pushing very hard. I'm letting the saw blade do the work. It's a very light touch on the handle. Do you like piercing, Mike? Some metalsmiths love it and some absolutely hate it. I take some of these with me to my shows, and I set up my bench pin on one of my tables, and I sit, and when I don't have customers in the booth, I sit and saw. And one thing, it draws them in because they want to see what I'm doing. And two, it usually leads to a sale or two because they see what actually goes into it, and that I do really cut them all by hand. I tell people that, and they're like, well, why don't you just get a table saw or whatever kind of saw, and do it that way? And I said, well, because then it wouldn't be handmade. Now, see, this saw blade is starting to stick a little bit. If it sticks too hard, it will snap. Let me catch up on chat. You don't mind doing it? Hey, Queen Bee. Hey, Sandy, doesn't your arm go? No, because you're not really using your entire arm. Oh, hey, Penny. And normally I wear a mask when I do this because the copper dust gets to flying, but I'm only doing one, so it's not going to be too bad. It's hard to talk through a mask. Let me finish cutting him out, and then I'll show you the rest of how I put these together. I did not put in the title, if you notice, I did not put, making a nightlight or cut. I didn't use the word nightlight because I'm sorry if that camera keeps flipping. I keep hitting it with my optivisors because they stick out from my head. I didn't put that in the title because this is kind of my own process that I developed, and I'm not so excited to share it with the world of metalsmithers. And if anybody's searching for like how to make a nightlight or any of that, I just didn't want them. I don't mind sharing with you guys, but I just don't want to flood the market with these because although you can see what it's taken me to solve this out, imagine if I did this hundreds of times. Just this part alone, I sell these, retail is $33. For my girls and guys in my online stuff, I sell them for $30. But truthfully and honestly, especially the complex ones that take a long time to saw, this one's not too bad. I should be getting a lot more money for them if I really, 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 before I cut that all the way out. Do you see how, I don't know if you can see, like right here, I didn't cut right on the line. There's a couple other places, like right on his nose. Nobody's ever going to notice that. Nobody's ever going to know because this paper is obviously coming off of here. So we're almost done with him. But after sewing so many, I've gotten pretty good at piercing. I haven't, knock on wood, everybody, I haven't broken a blade yet. But I do break them. You cannot, this is called piercing, by the way, in the metal community. And then I end up with a little cat. peel this paper off, and it's not, I use glue stick to put these down. Let me drop it in some water real quick. So it comes off, and then I'll show you the next step in the process. Yeah, I know I shouldn't have said that. Yeah, I typically do penny if I'm cutting a lot of them out, but one, I don't know, it's not the end of the world. All right, now one of the other things I did is I dropped my chair down almost, well, as low as it would go. Because when you're sawing, so I just lifted it back up again. When you're sawing, you want to be as eye level to the piece as you can, as close to eye level as you can. And so I'm going to, so for those of you who came in a little late, I did these yesterday. Look at how pretty and how detailed those crosses are. Oh, I was going to put them in the pickle so you could see them better. Let me drop them in the pickle for a little bit. And then I will cut around the edge of these crosses and then solder them to a back plate. Those are always really popular necklaces, but let me put them in the pickle. And the pickle is just, it's a crock pot full of water and citric acid. And the citric acid, and citric acid is the same stuff you make like dill pickles with. But I use it more concentrated, and it takes all that fire color off of the, you should use a little, yeah, I do use, well, the moons I definitely use. I hadn't thought about making magnets out of those. Ah, yeah, they can. I use them. Oh, what do I do with the crosses? I just put them in the pickle, but um, I cut them out. I solder them to a back plate so they're nice and finished. And then I solder on a little bail and I make necklaces out of them. All right, let me see if this paper has come off. Yep. So this is how I spend my day, you guys. They're pretty thick. I do make magnets, but most of my magnets have sayings on there. I hadn't thought about doing magnets with them. I could. Now I have some cardinals that I will enamel red and make Christmas tree ornaments out of. And I could make ornaments out of these too, actually. So there you go. There's the kitty cat all cut out. And you see those little tiny holes. Whoops. See those little tiny holes that we cut out? Come on, focus. Focus for me. So anyway, there's the kitty cat. Yeah, I could make journal charms out of them. All right, now let me move you over here to my annealing pan. Let's see how I can do this. Okay, so this is my annealing pan. Oh, and you get a shot of my big chubby legs. And my torch. So the next thing I have to do is soften the metal. Well, actually, even before I do that, let me, these corners are really sharp. So I just take a file and round them off a little bit. All the little things you don't think of, I just make them a little bit round so they're not pokey, because they do poke. And Mike, I don't do any finishing on the metal. If you look, there's all kinds of little scratches in it. You won't ever even see those by the time I get the patina on it. So I don't spend any time making it really smooth. All right, there we go. Now, copper pickles. Well, my pickling solution I use, oh, copper pickles. Never mind. I just caught on. You are such a not sarcastic. You're such a comedian. More bread and butter pickles. I could till they pull mine. Okay. This has got, the air vent's got to be closed. And this little, come on. Yeah. Turn it down fast. I've got a fan blowing beside me, so it blows that flame. All right. As I've told you before, here's the anatomy of a flame. That blue tip right down there is the hottest part of the flame. And what I'm doing, that metal is hard as rock. I can't bend it right now. So what I'm going to do is called annealing. Sorry for the noise. It'll be just a minute. I am annealing it. And what that's doing, it's scrambling the molecules so the metal becomes bendable. Because normally the molecules in metal are stacked like a brick wall, one over, they stack up so that it's firm, you can't bend it. But when you do this annealing, now I'm going to go down here, you can't see it, but listen. I don't know if you heard that, but I put it in a tub of water. Actually, I don't want to set that on those again because those are hot. I put it in a tub of water and it cools it right down. So that's a pretty ugly looking piece of metal, but when we put it in the pickle, it'll be fine. So the next step of my process is to take my rawhide mallet, and this mallet, yes, is just like the rawhide bones you give your dog, only it's made into a hammer. And this is the rolling pin. This is why I don't bake anymore. This used to be the rolling pin out of my kitchen. When I started making night lights, I thought I need something to form the night lights around to give them their little curve. And so I went searching for something and I found my rolling pin. And now I'm doing a lot more baking, but I probably will never ever make pie crusts again. All right, I get it as straight as I can. And this metal now is very bendable. So I'm just going to using the rawhide mallet keeps it from leaving marks on the metal. And hammering it makes those molecules scramble back in place again, so it'll harden it up. All right, just make sure it's hammered down pretty good, and there's my nightlight. Okay, it's all formed, and actually I want to hammer just a little bit more here. So if you have in the past bought a nightlight, and here's how I hammer my You know, all my little blisters I have, I just hit it again. When I'm hammering, I'll get just the little bit of skin in there and it'll form a blood blister. It hurts like the dickens. Catch up on chat. Is it because you... Well, I could make a nightlight like that. I don't know that a lot of people would buy it, to be honest with you. But if you ever want one and you want it grungy like that, look, any gal they... Thank you, Big Mama. For your hammered flowers, yeah. I annealed some copper 2 days ago and it came out flame painted. Oh, yeah. Well, this has got a lot of red in it too. But now let me show you the next step. This is where it gets fun. So, you know, we have to have that bracket on the back to clip it onto the base. And so I take, this is how I get them, and they have these long prongs on them, and I don't like them that long, so I cut them off. Okay, and then I'm going to put it on like this, and I'm going to solder it there. So let me show you how that works. Good night to all of you who are taking naps. So Mike, are you taking notes on how this is done? You could make these in the UK. I'm telling you, I sell so many of these. Every show I do, I sell about 20 of them. So this is flux. It's what makes the solder flow. So I'm putting a little on the piece. Now, some people will tell you that I should pickle this first and get all that color off of there. I have found that it doesn't matter. Some people say, oh, the solder won't flow well. I don't find that to be true. Okay, and then I just eyeball it and try to get it as straight as I can. And then I use one of these old dental tools as a soldering pick. Now, I need some pieces of solder. I use 3 pieces of solder for each. And I have these nifty little pliers that allow me to cut even pieces of solder. Solder looks just like silver wire, but it's got extra stuff in it for the bonding, and I don't know what that is. Do you, Mike? What's in solder that makes it different from regular silver wire? I don't know what the bonding agent is, because if it were just silver, so I put 1 on each side, and these are just little tiny, see how tiny those are? You don't need a lot. And some people, when I say solder, they think about the little soldering guns that you use, like for your home electrical stuff, if you're soldering 2 pieces of little wire together. That doesn't work here because this is silver solder, and silver will not melt at soldering iron temperature. It's got to be much hotter. I think it's like, I don't know, 12 or 1400 degrees it has to get to. And the little piece of solder, that's what I'm doing here, needs to sit right up next to the metal because it's got to flow into that space. Silver and tin, okay. Pumice. What are you talking about? This is a fire brick. The rock in the pan is pumice. All right, let's solder. It's going to get a little noisy, but you'll see. Now, that little brass piece is straight across, and I need to make it connect. So I need to make it, you know, curve down to touch the nightlight. When I heat this brass, same as copper, it's going to get soft. And so what I'll do is I'll take my pick, and when the solder is melting, I'll push that down, you'll see, and that makes it form. Come on. Here we go. Turn it down just a little bit. Turn this fan out of the way. It's really messing with the flame. All right, when you solder, you want to heat the whole piece of metal because it's not the flame that makes the solder melt, it's the heat of the metal. And when the metal heats to a certain point, then the solder will melt. Now you see my flux is turning white. It will turn white, and then it will turn a very dirty color. It'll look like it's just really dirty. And then it will turn kind of a clear color. Now, the flux bubbled a little and my piece moved down too far, so I'm going to push it back. And I'm watching for those little bits of solder, where they go, to melt, and then I'm pushing down. Now, if I hold this flame on those brass prongs, and I've done that before, not paying attention, they will melt. So just like that, let me quench it in the water. And just like that, this piece is soldered. So from here, I would put this in the pickle and clean it up now. And then I would put my green patina solution on it and let it set until, you know, it patinas to the way I want it. And then I would seal it. And then it's ready. I just clip it on the nightlight base and screw it in, and it's ready to go. So that's how, let me put this nightlight in here, and then I'll take some of those other pieces out of the pickle so you can see them. See how nice and clean those are now? After sitting in the pickle, let me swoosh them in the water just to get the pickle off of them. Not that it's going to hurt anything, but I like to rinse them off. All right, so now, hopefully, you can really see the pattern in that cross. Let's see, which way do I need to turn it? Just like that. You see how detailed that is? Now, when I put the patina solution on, and I'll make these brown, I may do one in the green patina, you know, and then I buff back the patina. All of these little raised spots will be a bright color, and then it'll be dark down in the recesses. And then, like I said, now this I don't need to drill holes because I'm just going to go and cut around it. So like this one, didn't quite get all the color off, but it doesn't really matter because I'm still going to be doing some fire when I solder it together and stuff. I just wanted to clean it to show you guys the pattern in it. And then see what I do is I put this on top of, it's called an impression die, and it has it's a steel block and it's got an indentation in it with this pattern in it. So I put a piece of copper over it. I anneal it to make it really soft. And I put urethane pieces on here because they will push it down in there. And I use my hydraulic press, and it presses down into that copper and makes the pattern. And I have to do it, I probably did these about 6 times. So I do it a couple times, and then the metal gets really hard, so I anneal it again, And then I press some more, and I just keep pressing it until I get the pattern. See if it comes right off. But because I'm pressing down into the pattern, it leaves the back, you know, with that indentation. Now I could just cut it out and leave it like that, but that just really looks unfinished. So what I will do is solder this to another piece of copper so that when you turn it over, it's flat on the back. It'll also make it a little bit heavier. And then these ring bands, these need to be pressed more. I didn't press them, but can you see the pattern in there? And what these will do is a little package of old rings. What I will do is cut this down, and then I will solder it over the top of the silver, so it'll be a silver ring with the band, that pattern band in the middle. So that's my plan on those few. So I have two that have this swirly design, and I need to anneal them and press them a little more because the design's not in there real good. And then I have this one that's leaves. And do you see I got it off a little bit on there? I can fix that by lining it back up and pressing it again. But this one's got little leaves on it. Pickle and juice. Well, I'm using a pretty concentrated solution of it. Oh yeah, my camera's I'm pushing the flame this way, so let's see if that cat, I don't know if it's been in there long enough, but we'll see. Probably not long enough yet, but let's see how much it'll wipe off. So yeah, Mike, that's how I make my night lights, and I just order my nightlight bases from a couple of different places, but I order them 100 at a time because I use so many of them. So there's the cat. He's not quite pickled all the way. Oh, and then the other thing I do, I forgot to tell you, is I take a piece of, because I just put this on the base, you would see the light bulb through it, and that doesn't look good. So what I do is I put a piece of vellum on the back, and that softens the light coming through. You don't see the light bulb. So I do that right before I put it on the base. I add the piece of vellum, and I use a small strip of that real thin 1/8 of an inch double-sided tape from Score. I have a piece going across the top and a piece going across the bottom, and then you can see that screw. I could cut that screw off, but I don't. I just leave them. So there you go, Mike. There's how you make night lights. Concentrated kind might clean you out another way. Yeah. Anyway, that's our metal stuff for today. I know, Mimi, you especially enjoy watching me do the metal work. Was this fun? Mike, get busy. Well, I'm telling you, Mike, they are extremely popular if you're going to do, if you're looking for something to sell. I thought about making some to sell like overseas, but I'd have to get the different outlets because I know you guys' power is different over there. Teacher Cheryl. I can't do that cross, but I have another cross that I have done. Hang on, let me see if I can find it. If you Google nightlight display and look at all the images, you will see a picture of my nightlight board. So this is the Google. This picture right here, whoops, there it is my nightlight. Now, it's not a cross, but you see this one that has faith and then the stars. I could put a cross on there, but that particular cross, because it's got all that texture, I would be cutting it out. And it's real tiny. It's not big enough really for a nightlight. I could put a cross. I can find other crosses to put. Oops, I forget. My camera is, there we go. And this light is glaring. So there you go. So there's some, these were my early ones. I don't make the lotus flower anymore. Whoops. I don't do the fern anymore. I don't do that moth. I don't do that shell. I do a different seashell. And I haven't done the faith in a long time. I should do more of those. So I can do, like I said before, you guys, I can do any shape that you want. You just have to tell me, and then I'll send you some images that I can work with. And hey, Cheryl. Oh yeah, 3 crosses in the hill. I could do that. I could cut out a hill and then, put 3 crosses on there. Let's see. Let me Google 3 crosses on a hill. So like that. See, I probably wouldn't cut out the whole hill because that would take too much of the nightlight out, but I would take like a little band of it so you could tell that it was a hill, and then I could put those 3 crosses on the top. I could absolutely do that. I could do that very easily, something like that. This one is licensed, so I wouldn't use this particular image, but I'm sure I could find a similar. And so I would just, I would just take a line of the hill. I would just put a little bit to indicate the hill and then cut out the crosses, because wherever it's black is where you would cut out. So, like I said, I can do, you want one, Mimi? Okay. Big Mama and Mimi both want one. Okay. I can do a Celtic cross. If you find an image that you like, or I can send you an image, just if there's a special one you want. I have done so many, I have my standard ones that I do. Just get this over here again. I have my standard inventory that I do, but I can really do anything. Okay, so 2 with the 3 crosses on the hill. I'll make it look awesome. All right. Anything else we need to talk about? Poor Cheryl, I see requests. Yeah, that's all right. This is what I do during the holiday season, and I make so many custom nightlights. So I'm fine. It won't be immediately because I have this show next weekend, and then I have something the week after in Durham. I'm going to Durham and doing a special event there. And then in a couple more weeks, I have my biggest show of the year in October at Mount Airy. Mount Airy is the birthplace of Andy Griffith, so they've done the whole town up like Mayberry RFD. It's really cool. And they do an autumn leaves show. and it's my biggest show all year. I mean, there's probably 100,000 people who go through there. And so once those shows are over, I can really work on some custom, but it'll be in plenty of, you need a mushroom one. Okay. Please send me a message on those so I don't lose it. Because I'm telling you, if I just keep it in my head, I will forget it. You need my shorts. Why do you need my shorts? Oh, what, to show off your legs? I wear shorts all the time. Even in the wintertime, I wear shorts. Um, yeah, the Andy Griffith Show is great. If you Google Mount Airy and just look at some of the pictures of the town, it is so cool. In fact, where my booth is usually, right across the street is Floyd's Barbershop. And Floyd's Barbershop and Opie's Candy Shop are right across the street from me. Everything is done up like Mayberry RFD. It's just a really cool little town. And it's right in the mountains. So you know, when the leaves, that's why they call it the Autumn Leaves Festival, because all the leaves are turning color and it's beautiful. And people make that like a vacation, a destination getaway. That's why there's so many people there. But anyway, well, listen, girls, we are running on an hour and 15 minutes. So I probably should, each and every one of us. Well, I showed my legs. I haven't seen any money come flowing in yet, so I'll let you know. I haven't had any notices pop up on my computer that say you've got money. So I wouldn't count on that giving you more money. Hey Stacy, we're just right at the end. And I'm getting ready to shut us down, but it's been a fun video. I did the drawing for the journal that went to Donna, and she is gifting it to someone else. And it's been a really fun video. Thank you, everybody. Did you get to? Who are you talking about? I don't know who you're talking about, Big Mama. Did you get to cross orders? We're going to like. All right, everybody. Have a wonderful day. I love you all. Thumbs up, please, if you haven't. And I will see you all tomorrow. All right. Bye.